Good morning and happy Friday. Attitude, the little thing that makes a big difference. That's what we're going to be talking about on this morning's live broadcast. Hopefully, you guys are having a great morning. Let me go ahead and start my timer because I want to be respectful of your time. So, today I want to tell you a story. It was these six blind men that was invited to describe an elephant. All right, so the first man was on the leg of an elephant, and so he kind of described the elephant as a pillar because of the way it was shaped. And he did some other descriptions about how the roughness of the skin, and so he described it, but he was mainly described as a post. Now, the second man was on the tail, and he described the elephant as a brush because it had like the soft fur on the tail, and he was like wiping on his chin, saying that the elephant was reminding him of like a brush. Now, the third blind man was on another leg, and again, he also described it like a pillar because of the roundness of the leg and also being like a column, if you will. Now, the fourth man was on one of the ears, and he described it like a banana leaf because of the vastness of the ears and just the way it was, the feel of it, the texture of it, just kind of described it like a banana leaf. Now, what man am I on? The fifth man was on another leg. All right. And so he also described it like a pillar because it was, again, round and like a column. And then the last man, the sixth and final man, was on the trunk of the elephant, and he described it like a tree branch just because of the way it was shaped and the way it felt. He described it like a tree branch. All right. So in this scenario, which one are right? Well, they all are. But guess what? They all also can also be considered wrong. But anyway, let me go on with the story. So then the men got together, and three of the men, because they were on the same leg, or I should say because they were all on a leg and they described it the same, they started meeting together and having meetings together just as, because they had things in common based upon their description of the elephant. And so the man that was on the tail heard that they were meeting, and so he invited himself to go to this meeting. And when he showed up, they were mean to him because he was describing it like one thing and had different beliefs, but guess what? They had other beliefs. And so they were mean to him, didn't make him feel welcome, and so he left and he never came back. Now, that same man that was on the tail ended up later on meeting the man that was on the trunk, and they got together and they were able to talk. And even though they didn't have the same description of the elephant, they were able to talk and communicate and have, have a good conversation. Now, keep in mind, I only have like 2 more minutes left in this story. So I want to go ahead and also share with you that later on, another year passed by, and 6 men were also asked again to describe an elephant. Now, one of the men that was on the post was invited back, but this time he was on the elephant ear. And so he saw that it was a different perspective. And so then he went out and searched to find the other guy from the previous year that was on the tail and wanted to apologize with him. And now they became friends. All right, so what am I talking about? You're like, okay, elephant is first thing in the morning, Peter. Like, why you gotta be so complicated? It's not complicated if you're following along. You're supposed to be like on your toes the first thing in the morning. But for some of you, maybe this is not your first thing in the morning. So anyway, let me just put it all together for you. So this week we've been talking about transformation, and yesterday specifically I talked about beliefs. I talked about beliefs and I talked about values. So I want to kind of put it into perspective for those of you that are trying to accomplish things, but you're not able to, and that's what it all feeds together. So I found a great diagram that I wanted to describe to you. Hopefully you can actually see this without it being. I know with my light it's kind of like, okay, there you go. So you can see right here. And what I want to show you is when it comes to your beliefs right here, these are the ideas that you hold to be true. And remember, we talked about those yesterday and where they're housed in your subconscious mind and how these are formed. Basically, they were given to you. Majority of them were given to you, particularly when you first came into this world. And then later on, you establish some other beliefs that you have. All right, so if you move up the stem, because this is exactly what this is, if you move up the stem, based upon your beliefs, you have values. And these are what you hold important to you. Okay? And then from the value, it determines your attitude. And your attitude is how you treat people and then also how you approach situations. And then look at the very top, like this is the surface. Like remember, this is like your subconscious mind, if you will, and this would be the or the world, if you will, in the up area, your actions, if you will. And this behavior is how you act. Okay, but look, it all stems from your beliefs. So that's why yesterday I shared with you that it's okay to give yourself permission to challenge your beliefs, because the beliefs that you had as a child and as an adolescent may not be serving you now as an adult. And particularly if what you're trying to accomplish, you're having a hard time doing it, like you're trying a hard time acting, the very top, it stems from a belief. And that's what I'm sharing with you today. And keep in mind, in these 5 minutes, this is all about awareness. I'm making you aware of it. But I don't like to leave you hanging, but because I'm just taking little chunks at a time, I want you to understand that next week, I will then be talking about things that you can do in order to challenge those beliefs. Now, I also want to talk about other things as well, but hopefully this was all about perspective. And now we're going to move on to the second portion of the broadcast, and this is where I'm going to invite you to do some yoga with me. Now, remind yourself, or I should say recall, that in this 15-minute broadcast or so, because sometimes it's a little longer, but what we're doing is we're doing 5-minute exercises, one each for the mind, the body, and the soul. And basically what this is sharing with you, my wall of positivity. Remember, I have like inspirational quotes on both sides of me as I'm walking through my hallway. But what it's just sharing with you is that it's just the little things that you do every single day. And all I'm asking for you is to carve out 15 minutes and just do 5-minute exercises each for your mind, body, and soul. Oh, by the way, really, really quick, so I want to share this with you as well. Remember, I only have 5 minutes. I did a broadcast, or I should say I did a blog yesterday, and went in a little bit more detail about beliefs and how some of the beliefs that we hold near and dear are just literally the majority of them. They're assumptions, basically, but they're lies. So, you know how we all believe in gravity? Well, I want to show you something. I'm only going to share, and I shared this with my class on Wednesday. Like, this is an accounting class, and they get stuff like this. Because I want you to understand this belief is where it starts. And I do have a quick question for you. I know I'm talking, but this is important. It's Friday, guys, and come on, have fun. I do have a question for you. Now, as I'm talking about beliefs, what's coming up for you? Is there resistance in you? Like, oh my God, like you're telling me everything I believe is lie, I don't agree, blah, blah, blah. Is that coming up with you? Or are you being inspired by saying, wait a minute, if that's the case, and if beliefs are basically assumptions, then I can come up with my own beliefs. Now, if it was the first one, the former one, that's okay. That means there's just some growth there. But if it's the latter one, you understand what I'm talking about, because you literally are telling yourself things over and over again. And what are thoughts? Thoughts are things that we repeat or repetitive over and over again in our mind, and it's being solidified as a belief. So recall I talked about gravity, right? Well, according to gravity, this would not be able to happen. Let me see if you can see it. Oh, sorry about the light. Let me see. Okay, there it goes. I'm trying to get a very good, I got so many lights here. Let me turn this off, see if I can do it. Okay, can you see that? Okay, maybe, okay, I think you can see it, but let me just kind of describe what this is. This happened, right now, it's probably like a year or so ago. But I'm in my car driving to, I probably shouldn't admit this on TV, but it was in traffic, so it's okay. I was on my way driving to San Diego to teach a class, and what you see is I stuck a penny on the steering wheel, and it stuck and it stayed there until I removed it. Okay? Now, according to gravity, this is not supposed to happen. Now, I just want to share with you that prior to this, it's not like I just came out of this off the top of my head. I had an intuitive coach, and he's a friend of mine. And you know what? One day, I think I'm going to invite him on one of my shows, because I went to see him a while ago. And he basically, his whole meeting that I went to was about beliefs, and how if you basically what you tell yourself can become true. And so in that particular meeting, it was, I want to say the meeting was maybe like an hour and a half. We each walked away with sticking a penny on a wall, okay? Like literally sticking a penny on the wall, and it stayed there. And I want you to understand there was no tricks. We didn't drink anything, or it wasn't anything. It was at a place in San Diego. But basically, it was just to let us know that we have whatever we need inside of us, including the ability to determine what we believe and for it to be true for us. Now, since then, or I should remember, this happened about a year ago now, or maybe a little bit more than a year ago when I first saw him. But that same within that same time frame, I came home, and at the time, I want to say Corey was probably about 16, 17. I can't remember, but he was a little older. It definitely wasn't last year, maybe the year before last. I actually have a video where I just told Corey to go stick a penny on the wall, and it stuck. And I have the video. And I've shared this with friends, and they've done this themselves, and they also did it with their kids. So again, I want you to understand those beliefs that you have, holding dear. If you can be inspired to start telling yourself and start believing things that are in the positive for you. So when you're looking in the mirror, stop being negative, stop criticizing yourself, and see the beauty within you, because we all have beauty within us. Okay, sorry. All right. Anyway, I already closed out my phone. So now I really officially invite you to join me on the mat. And let's go ahead and do a little yoga, and then we'll conclude with meditation. So let's go ahead and start with the child's pose. Good morning, Joseph. You're just in time to see the yoga. Hopefully you're able to join me. By the way, guys, if I don't call you out on the broadcast, because for some reason, I'm on my iPad, but for some reason, some people will come on and I see them, and other people come on and I don't see them. I don't know why. My belief is that you're all there and watching, though. All right, so let's go ahead and meet me on the mat. So make sure you can see my mat. Okay, child's pose. All right, so in this position here, my knees are in alignment with my ankle, and I'm actually sitting on my heels. But obviously, if you're not comfortable in this position right here, make any type of adjustments that you need to, so that you feel comfortable in the morning. Now I want you to use your breath. So I want you to take a nice deep inhalation. And as you exhale, just kind of walk your fingertips out along the mat. Slowly bring your chest toward the mat and the crown of your head down to the mat, and actually come into child's pose. And just kind of hang out here for a couple deep cleansing breaths. Just getting in touch with your body, your mind state, see where you are. I want you to place those armpits down toward the mat, relaxing your shoulders, feeling a full extension from your fingertips all the way to your tailbone, from the knees all the way to the toes. Take a nice deep breath again. And as you exhale, I want you to bring your body into the tabletop. Now in this position, just kind of adjust yourself so that your palms are directly underneath your shoulders and your knees are directly underneath your hip. Head is a natural extension of your spine. Take a nice deep breath, and as you inhale, drop your chest. Your head comes up, tailbone sticks out toward the back of the room. And as you exhale, drop your chin down to your chest and round through the spine. Tuck your tailbone under, press those armpits down toward the mat. Again, as you inhale, your head and chest comes forward. Draw those shoulder blades down away from the ears. And as you exhale, round through the spine, tuck your tailbone under. Now continue doing this cat-cow. Just a couple more breaths. Just kind of warming up your body, warming up the core. And just use your breath. Inhale one more time. This time as you exhale, I want you to dig your toes in toward the mat and take it back to child's pose. Now I want you to slowly walk your fingertips toward your hips. And as you inhale, take the arms up overhead. And as you exhale, interlace your fingers and press your palms up toward the sky. Relax your shoulders, keep your head in alignment with your bicep. As you inhale again, draw that breath in, nice, clean, cleansing breath. And as you exhale, unclasp your hands, place them down toward the mat, and take your body into downward facing dog. Now in this position, I want you to do whatever feels comfortable for you. I like to pedal my legs. You can sway your hips side to side. Just make sure your finger and your toes are spread out nice and wide. Palms are directly underneath your shoulders. Your feet are directly underneath your hips. Now, I want you to press your chest towards your thighs and your knees. And if you can, try to get your heels down to the mat, but it's not important if you can't. Now, I want you to wrinkle your body and take it to the plank. Now, I'm going to hold this here, but if you need to, go ahead and release your knees down to the mat and do a modified version of the plank. I'm going to take a nice deep breath in, and as I exhale, go ahead and release your knees, your chest, your chin, and take it all the way down. As you inhale, take it to upward facing dog, relax your shoulder, and as you exhale, release it down. Now again, if you need to modify and take it to the cobra, you can place your forearms to the mat and do the same thing. So as you inhale, just go with whatever far is comfortable to you, and then exhale down. Do that again, inhale, and exhale. Relax the shoulders down. Now from here, I'm going to take my breath on the exhale. I'm going to look over that right shoulder. And then return back to the center. And then look over the left shoulder. And then return back to the center. And release it down. I'm now going to push my body back to child's pose. I'm going to curl my toes under. And I'm going to exhale to downward facing dog. And I'm going to take my fingertips and I'm going to walk them back to my toes. And I'm going to come to a ragdoll. So I'm going to take my hands and go ahead and clasp them on the outside of your elbows. And let the crown of your head bring your body weight naturally forward. Soft bend in those knees, but lift the kneecaps to engage the quadriceps. Give a little deeper stretch on those hamstrings. Now in this position, just kind of play around with it. You can swing your body forward and back. Taking it side to side. Again, you're doing what feels comfortable to you. And as you continue breathing on each exhale, I want you to release and relax any strain and stress. Only on the exhale. If you're tight, I want you to breathe in those areas. Now, go ahead and release your palms, your fingertips down to the mat. So your fingertips or palms if you can. And I want you to walk out your feet to the edges of the mat and take a nice deep breath. And as you exhale, bring your tailbone down toward the mat. And then take it to Balasana. Now, using your elbows, you're going to push out on those inner thighs. Bring the palms together. And just kind of hold it here. Taking a nice deep breath. And exhale, release and relax. Just kind of open up the hip flexors here. Remember, if it's tight, just go ahead and breathe into those areas. Now I'm going to go ahead and place my right arm down. My left arm is going to go up to the sky. And there's an option if you want to bind. And then release. Return back to the center. And again, this time on the exhale, I'm going to place my left arm down, right arm goes up. But again, you have an option to bind. And release. Return back to center. Now go ahead and place your palms down. Release your knees back to the mat. Cross your legs, and then once you bring your body into a comfortable seated position so that you're facing to the front. Making sure that you're on the sits bones and off the fleshy part of your bottom. Fingertips are off to the side. Take a nice deep breath. Inhaling. And exhale down. Again, nice deep breath. Inhaling. And exhale. One more time, take a nice deep breath, bringing in all of that positive energy. You're going to bring the palms together at the very top. And as you exhale, bring your palms together at the heart center. And we say, Namaste. All right, thank you for practicing yoga with me. Now it's moving on to the third and final segment of the broadcast. And this is where I'm going to lead you to a guided meditation. Sorry about that, a little loud there. It's going to lead you to a guided meditation where you can connect to the divine source. And not just the divine source, connect to all. All right, so go ahead and get into a nice, comfortable seated position. If you're in a chair, I invite you to take your shoes off and keep your feet flat on the floor. Your spine should be upright and straight. If you're driving, please do not participate. If you're laying in the bed, sit up. Don't want you falling asleep. You ready? I'm pausing for a moment because sometimes in life you need to just pause. Take a nice deep breath, inhale into your nose. And exhale through your mouth. Again, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And exhaling through your mouth. One more time, take a nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And this time as you exhale, go ahead and close your eyes. And let your breath return back to its normal rhythm. Now I want you to imagine that there is a divine light that's about 3 feet above you, above the crown of your head, and it's asking for permission to enter into your space. I want you to mentally give it permission by just saying yes. And once you do that, I want you to imagine, if you will, that the divine light enters in through the crown of your head and makes its way down through your body slowly, starting with your head, from the crown of your head all the way down and around, from your chin to the base of your neck. It's washing away all the stress, the strains, the worries, the tension, anything that's no longer serving you is being washed away by this divine white light. Now imagine the light moving down from your neck all the way down your shoulders. Again, washing away all the tension and stress. Feel your shoulders relax as the divine light moves its way down your arm to your elbows, and from your elbows out through your fingertips. Now imagine this white light now moving along down the front of your body, your chest, and your back, again releasing all the tension and stress, anything that's no longer serving you being washed away, going down the mid-back, your belly, the low back, all the way down towards your waist. The light continues to move down your legs to your knees, from your knees to your ankles, in and out through your toes. I want you to breathe in this divine light, this nuclear space, this connected space that you have, as the divine light continues out the bottom of your feet, through the floor, all the way down to the center of Mother Earth, where it's attached, the center of the core. And like a trampoline, it bounces all the way back up through your feet, through your ankles, your knees, your hips, all the way up to the chest area, so that now you're fully connected from above and from below. Now imagine this light spilling out through your heart center and filling the space around you like a bubble. Now imagine this light filling the room that you're in the building that you're in, the city, the state, the country, the continent, and finally the whole world. Now go ahead and take 3 deep breaths, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. Again, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose and exhaling through your mouth. And one more time, nice deep breath, inhaling through your nose. And this time as you exhale, I want you to go ahead and open up your eyes as you release, relax, and return refreshed and calm. You've done something good for yourself today. I want you to remember the ABC of always being connected. And any time throughout your day, throughout your life, if you're feeling stressed, anxious, worried, uncertain, any of those negative emotions, just remember you can always call in your divine light to help you through those situations. And all you need to do is ask. I want to thank you for watching this broadcast of Transform Yourself in 15 Minutes. My name is Pia. Please share this information with your family, with your friends. Share it on your Facebook page. Again, this is 5 minutes for the mind, the body, and the soul. 15 minutes together. Exercises that you're doing for yourself. I will see you next week. Have a great weekend. Bye.